Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Hello. Happy Friday.
Right, I've lost my screen. Oh, there it is.
There. Do you ever have phone? I feel like I have done so much before 10 a.m. today that I'm exhausted.
Before what?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Gotcha.
Like
Right?
I'm like, what time is it?
Yeah.
I've been answering appraisal calls. I've been to Shelter Gardens. I've been to the vet. I've been to the MKT trail.
gosh.
I've been over to my neighbor's house. I don't know what's going on today. If anybody needs me at 4 p.m., I might be taking a nap.
Good plan.
Yeah.
Appraisals. I was talking about appraisals with my wife yesterday. It seems to be
Ooh.
still interesting, hot topics and why they're coming in so high.
What does she have to share from the world of the mortgage space?
Oh, not much. They're just kind of evaluating, as appraisals come in higher, that allows them to lend higher.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so they're just kind of monitoring it all, watching it all, and just as fascinated about it as anyone is.
The interesting thing, my appraisal issue this morning that I was dealing with was that it's coming in low, and that was the comment that they've had the last couple ones come in lower than they thought.
Okay.
So, where's that kind of shaking out? I did just see a notification though yesterday that the president of the National Association of Home Builders, they're still estimating that we are 3 million homes short.
Wow.
As far as, just like new homes, that's just new homes. So, that's part of the thing is everybody's asking like, when is this going to stop? What's going to change things? What's going to slow things down? And, the interest rates will slow things down, but the need for someone to have a home is a whole different scenario because these millennials who moved into all the apartments 10 years ago that were, everybody said, what's happening? Why are there all these apartments? Well, that was all the millennials. Now they're all moving into homes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not shopping for a home. I'm shopping for a fence.
A fence. Oh, there you go, right?
Attached to the home.
Yeah. If anybody has a really, really good fence and there happens to be a home attached, let me know.
Maybe
Time.
needs can change.
Right. So what else is happening this week, guys?
I have my son's birthday party tonight, so looking forward to that, and with all his buddies coming over. And it's going to get warm this weekend, so that'll be interesting. Been fun, and I don't know.
Yeah, I started watering my yard last night because I was like, well, maybe just kind of give it some substance before the heat gets really bad,
You guys are freaking me out because I haven't paid attention to this.
Yeah, it's just we're breaking 90. That's all.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's nothing. It's almost
Nothing
July.
wrong with
What are we
that.
talking about? Oh, I see. 95.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're moving into that's on Monday.
Water in the morning if possible versus night too, Billy, if possible. So
in the morning.
Yeah.
I always thought before night would be best because it gives it time to set in and not evaporate.
No, that actually allows it to rot overnight, and the roots get rot, so they need to dry out too. So they just need to be, if possible,
I go to the gym in the morning, so
exactly. So yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I'll just let it be then.
Yeah, you want to you don't want to just have it soaked every night. It'll just rot that way. So
yeah, I never thought about that. I always thought it was the way around. I just learned something new.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you guys remember those I don't know what we're talking about this morning, but you remember those? I guess it's true. Someone probably knows this, like why the French eat their salad last, and not first. Like Americans eat their salad, then their meal. And then the French eat their meal first and then their salad. Sometimes, but I feel like, everybody's kind of gotten over that. But there was this whole thing that then that way the salad rots in your stomach, and then therefore it kind of clears your system better.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Somebody Google that and see what you can find out.
Or don't. I don't know.
Or don't. Right. Yeah, that could be a scary thing to Google.
Yeah.
Speaking of heat, though, we had a brief air conditioning. One of the units went down. I can't tell you which one, but a few of us were hot in our offices, including me, and now it's nice and cool again.
Right, there you go. You can always put in my closet.
They got fixed yesterday afternoon. Yes, you can always, if anybody ever needs to cool down, go hang out.
I got in Elizabeth's closet.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like cryotherapy.
Yeah. That's funny. So one thing to talk about this week that kind of came up is let's talk about the Ring doorbells and the security cameras that exist in houses. Do you guys have cameras in your house?
I have a Wise camera.
Okay.
Like a Ring or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a few.
You have a lot, don't you, Jamie?
Yeah. We have 3 outside and 1 in the garage and 2 inside.
Well, the first thing about them is that some people actually do watch them every single night and day, and they review their tapes and footage.
Yes. So this goes into showings, and this goes into everything that you're doing at the showing. And from the moment you set on that property, you need to assume that you are being recorded. So a couple of things that came up this week was, who is that? Is that the buyer with the agent? Is that the agent? I mean, these are real questions. That agent doesn't look professional, because they were kind of doing a preview and doing a okay, hat on, coming from the gym. Let me drive in the house. Let me see the house. Who is that? Is that an agent? Why don't they look professional? Like, oh my God, hello, chill out. Yes, they have a key, and yes, they're a professional, and yes, they sell a lot of real estate. But all of those things. So from the moment that now my cameras, I can hear the sound. So I've got 2 in my house. Once I can listen to everything. We've had a situation where someone turned off the camera when they were in the house because they knew they were being recorded and they didn't want to be watched. That
probably didn't go too well.
Excuse my language, shit show. That didn't go over too well. Yeah. So you don't want to turn off anybody's electronics or anything in their house. You just need to assume and know that you're on camera. Just make that assumption. From the moment you step foot on even in the street, right? Because a lot of those cameras go out to the street views. Whatever you say in the house is probably being recorded. So even if you're like on the phone, you're by yourself, maybe you're not with your buyers, you're sitting there talking, you go in another room because you don't want to have a conversation. The buyer, someone calls, all of that, you need to assume every single bit of that is being recorded. Ford has a funny story about being recorded in his house. Who watched your recording tapes?
Oh, my, yeah. I mean, kids will watch the tapes too. You'll find out things you never know.
That's right. You never know who has access to these tapes and to the things. So it's a really big. And what I guess what I feel like is we've talked about this before. Like for years. And it seems like every time this comes up, someone's like, "Oh my gosh, we should let everybody know this. We should let everybody know they're being recorded." You're being recorded.
Yeah.
It's just an assumption you should make. And and if you want to go say hi to Jamie, get ready for, her husband, who's a computer geek, who's going to have you filmed at 4 different angles. So
Right.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think you have people that have all the cameras but never check them, only if notified if something might be wrong. Mm-hmm. And you do have the people that review them every day. They might find something fun that day. So.
That's right. What am I going to find? Doing what? And it's a habit, right? It's like checking Facebook.
Yeah.
Check the camera. See what's going on in the house. So
I think what you just said too is a real nice point about it. Is for the sellers, some people will review their footage to find out about the professionalism of the realtor.
For sure. And to see what they were saying, it does. I mean, it keeps coming back to this, and there's no right answer here, but it does then open us up to, again, fair housing issues of who came in my house. Did I like that person who came in my house? Here's what they looked like in my house. Here's what they were wearing. Here's what color their skin was, which is just, sick to think about. But that's an issue too. But certainly somebody has the right to have a camera on their property. I think it would be interesting, and I don't even know if this was something I would want, not want, is it something that gets disclosed? Like your phone conversation, you want to know when it's being recorded. If they're not intending on using it, when you are being recorded on this property. I don't know. And I think
the laws now say we don't have to, right?
You can get those signs everywhere too. So.
Right. Yeah. But like it's a business environment, so I don't know.
Isn't there that sign place in town where you can get like a bunch of signs like that? Does anybody know what that sign place is? Besides like Signs Now.
Yeah, Signs Now I think is one of them.
Isn't there one where you get all like the traffic signs and all that stuff? Anybody know what that is?
You usually get them at the hardware stores.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need a park here sign.
You can look at fast signs. There's also
For your house.
Fast Signs is a good one, yeah. But I bet you could just order it from Amazon and have it in 2 days.
That's probably right. Probably be shipped in.
Local. Shop local.
Sorry.
I'm the last person to. No, is it for your house, Ford?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Ford's funny. So, anything else we need to report on this week or share that we talked about?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Busy week, busy day today with closings, and next week too. It's like everyone's closing in middle of June here. So.
For sure. As a reminder, as far as we kind of went over a couple things on Tuesday, with COVID and everything, keep your eyes open. People are still contracting COVID. If you do feel like you've been exposed or you have any symptoms, please wear a mask in the office. We're going to ask that of you until you find out if you've had a negative test or not, because we certainly don't want to spread it if we know that somebody's had it. So, it's easy to forget that it's out there, but it's still out there and existing. And whether it's the flu or anything, don't come in if you don't feel good. Kind of really simple. I mean, who's had the flu, right? Knock on wood.
Yep.
Know better about that. So that was one thing. The other thing, of course, is we talked about record retention and making sure that you're saving all of the documents that you can. You know what, Jamie, did we send out the instructions on paperless yet?
We haven't yet, but we're working on it. So hopefully by the end of today, we'll get that out.
Okay. I was thinking about that just so that, you can make sure that you can always send emails straight to paperless. So that's really important to do, and to keep track of the record retention, which has to do with, all of the things that we get asked to do. And then, of course, we talked about some inspector information. There's really no reason we should be excluding people from the houses unless it's the seller's request. And the biggest thing we don't want to do is we don't want to influence them or coach them as far as who or should not be on the property. It should be their independent decision to do that. And then, Billy, you want to share the event coming up?
Oh, yes. On June 29th, we have our Trops happy hour hangout. We'll have some non-alcoholic beverages as well. But it's going to be at the Quarry, not the restaurant, but like secret Quarry. So we sent out some information. I'll send out the information again for you. And it has a map of how to get there. And if you have any questions, you can call me or anybody on staff, and we'll be able to help you with how to get there. But and it's all dependent on weather. If it rains, we'll reschedule, but we'll let you guys know. And it should be pretty fun. I haven't been there yet, but it looks super pretty.
Different place. You haven't been able to go before, maybe?
Yeah. So, and there, we'll have shade. There's a shelter house there where we will sit and stuff. So don't worry about
one thing you might want to bring, and I always usually have it with me, is maybe it's June 29th, so you might want to bring some bug spray.
Okay.
If I'm outside, I want bug spray on. That's just how it's going down.
It is that time of year. I saw somewhere in New Jersey, I guess they have like a huge cicada invasion right now, and it's awful. I mean,
they were on the golf course. They were playing in Columbus, Ohio last week, and they were all over the golf course and flying through the cameras on the golfers.
So are we getting them?
I don't think so. I do not think.
I thought they missed us for some reason or something.
Yeah, we're not on schedule yet.
Yeah.
So
when you hear that like every year, it's the cicadas. We still got a while for Missouri.
it's 13 and 17 years, but your son Ford told me he'd watched some video on it and it was like 1.5 million per acre in Washington, D.C. I mean, it was that whatever the number was, I made my stomach turn. I was like, oh my God, you'd be shoveling those. And I haven't seen the videos, but it kind of looks like that. So,
Yeah.
Oh, there was a photo I saw. It's just awful.
yeah.
Front door. I mean, you couldn't even open your door without like, it looked like snow, but cicadas.
Yeah. And was that in D.C.?
I think it said New Jersey.
Well, it could be. I mean, it's all up along the East Coast and stuff. So, yeah. So, have a cicada-free weekend. Any other tips or something fun you guys are doing, Billy and Jamie?
Thankfully, my weekend's a little quiet, so that's
Nice.
good.
We have a graduation party to go to, and I'm sure I'll end up at the pool with my daughter in the water, probably.
There you go. Yeah, if it's that hot out. Well, I'll be on the trail if anybody needs me.
All right.
All right, everybody have a great weekend. Be happy, be healthy, and be helpful. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.